If there's one thing you need to understand about growth, it's this: it doesn't happen by accident. Nobody wakes up one day suddenly wiser, stronger, or more capable. Personal growth is not a matter of time, it's a matter of intention. Too many people believe that simply going through life will make them better, but experience alone does not guarantee improvement. Evaluated experience does. Think about it. How many people do you know have been in the same job, the same routine, or the same mindset for years without any real progress? Time moved forward, but they stayed the same. Why? Because they never made a conscious decision to grow. Growth requires intentional effort. It requires a mindset that says, I am responsible for becoming the best version of myself. No one else can do it for you. Not your boss, not your friends, not even your family. It's on you. The difference between people who grow and people who don't is simple. The ones who grow have a plan. They don't leave their development to chance. They set goals, seek out mentors, invest in learning, and consistently push themselves beyond their comfort zones. They understand that becoming better doesn't happen just by showing up. It happens by showing up with purpose. If you want to become a better leader, a better friend, a better version of yourself, you must ask yourself, what am I doing every day to grow? Because here's the truth, your future is hidden in your daily routine. Success doesn't come from occasional bursts of effort. It comes from the small, consistent actions that build momentum over time. If you read one chapter of a book on leadership every day, where will you be in a year? If you dedicate time to improving your skills, how much further will you be 5 years from now? The people who grow the most are the ones who embrace discomfort. Growth isn't always easy. In fact, it often requires stepping into the unknown, making mistakes, and facing challenges head on. But here's the good news: growth compounds. The more intentional you are about improving yourself today, the greater your opportunities will be tomorrow. The key is to start where you are. You don't need to have all the answers. You don't need to wait for the perfect time. You just need to decide that growth is a priority, because the moment you do, everything changes. You begin to see opportunities where others see obstacles. You start to rise above circumstances instead of being controlled by them. And most importantly, you take control of your future instead of waiting for life to dictate it for you. So the question is simple: are you willing to be intentional about your growth? Because if you are, there's no limit to how far you can go. If you want to know where your life is headed, take a look at your daily habits. Success is never built on one big moment. It's built on the small things you do consistently. Many people have big dreams, but they fail to realize that dreams don't come true because of wishful thinking. They come true because of intentional action repeated over time. Every day you are shaping your future. The question is, are your daily habits leading you toward the person you want to become? Because whether you realize it or not, your habits are either working for you or against you. No one becomes a great leader overnight. No one builds strong relationships by accident. No one achieves excellence without discipline. The secret to success isn't found in luck or talent. It's found in what you do daily. If you want to grow, you must take an honest look at your routine. What do you do when you wake up? How do you spend your free time? Who do you surround yourself with? These things might seem small in the moment, but over time they determine the trajectory of your life. A person who reads for 30 minutes a day will gain more knowledge than someone who watches TV for hours. A person who invests in meaningful conversations will develop stronger relationships than someone who stays disconnected. The truth is, you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your habits. It's not what you want that shapes your future, it's what you do. That's why successful people are intentional about their daily actions. They set aside time for growth. They prioritize learning. They make sure that every single day they are doing something, no matter how small, that moves them forward. The challenge for many is that bad habits are easy to form, but good habits require effort. It's easy to waste time, to procrastinate, to stay comfortable. But the price of staying the same is far greater than the cost of growth. The good news is that change doesn't happen all at once. It happens one decision at a time. The smallest improvements, when done consistently, create massive results over time. If you want to become a better version of yourself, you don't have to make drastic changes overnight. You just need to start with one thing. Commit to a habit that aligns with your vision for the future. Maybe it's reading 10 pages a day, practicing gratitude, or reaching out to a mentor. Whatever it is, do it daily, because the real transformation happens not in what you do occasionally, but in what you do every single day. So let me ask you, are your daily habits building the future you want? Because if they're not, today is the perfect day to start changing them. The greatest breakthrough in personal growth happens the moment you take full ownership of it. No one else is responsible for your development, only you are. Many people go through life waiting for someone to push them, teach them, or create opportunities for them. But the truth is, growth isn't something that happens to you. It's something you must pursue. Too often, people blame their circumstances for where they are. They say, if only I had better opportunities, or if only someone would help me grow. But the people who grow the most in life are the ones who stop making excuses and start making decisions. They don't wait for permission to improve. They take responsibility for their own progress. It all starts with a mindset shift. Instead of saying, I hope I grow, you must say, I will grow. Instead of saying, I don't have the right resources, you must say, I will find a way. The moment you take ownership of your growth, you stop being a victim of your circumstance and start becoming the architect of your future. Growth is a personal choice, and every day you have the opportunity to make that choice. You can either drift through life, letting things happen to you, or you can take control and decide who you want to become. That means setting goals, seeking out challenges, and taking deliberate steps toward improvement. It means reading books that stretch your thinking, having conversations that push you forward, and stepping into situations that make you uncomfortable. Taking ownership also means refusing to settle. Growth never happens in comfort zones. If you only do what you've always done, you will only be who you've always been. Real growth requires stretching, taking risks, and embracing the unknown. It means choosing discipline over ease, progress over perfection, and long-term rewards over short-term comfort. The most successful people in life are not the ones who had the best circumstances. They are the ones who took responsibility for their growth despite their circumstances. They didn't wait for someone to hand them success. They created it by being intentional every single day. The good news is you don't have to have all the answers to start growing. You just have to start. You have to make a decision today that you will take control of your future. Because once you do, you'll begin to see opportunities where others see obstacles. You'll start creating momentum in your life, and before you know it, you'll be far beyond where you ever imagined. So the question is simple. Are you ready to take ownership of your growth? Because if you are, nothing can stop you from becoming the person you were meant to be. If you want to grow into the best version of yourself, take a close look at the people around you. Your environment has the power to shape your future. No one succeeds alone, and no one rises above the level of the people they consistently spend time with. If you surround yourself with people who challenge, inspire, and push you forward, you will grow. If you spend time with those who discourage, limit, or drain you, you will stay stuck. Think about the most successful people in any field: leaders, athletes, entrepreneurs. They didn't achieve success in isolation. They had mentors who guided them, peers who motivated them, and communities that held them accountable. Growth is contagious. When you're around people who are constantly improving, you will naturally begin to do the same. But the opposite is also true. If you surround yourself with negativity, complacency, and excuses, those things will become your reality. It's not always about cutting people out of your life, but it is about being intentional with who influences you. If you're always around those who complain, you will start complaining. If you're around people who settle for mediocrity, you will slowly lower your standards. The key is to seek out relationships that challenge you to be better. Find people who think bigger than you do. Find those who are ahead of you in life and are willing to mentor you. Get around those who don't let you stay comfortable, but instead push you toward growth. The right people will inspire you, stretch you, and hold you accountable to your potential. This also means that you have to be open to correction. Growth doesn't come from surrounding yourself with people who only tell you what you want to hear. It comes from people who care enough to tell you the truth. The best relationships are the ones that challenge you, not just comfort you. Growth happens when someone says you can do better, and instead of getting defensive, you listen. It's also important to remember that relationships should be a two-way street. If you want to be surrounded by great people, you must also be the kind of person others want to be around. Are you encouraging others? Are you pushing the people around you to grow? Are you adding value to the relationships in your life? Growth is not just about taking, it's about giving. When you invest in others, you create an environment where everyone rises together. The reality is you can't choose where you were born, but you can choose who you grow with. And that choice will determine the direction of your life. So take a moment and evaluate your circle. Are the people around you helping you grow, or are they holding you back? Because if you want to become the best version of yourself, the right environment isn't just helpful, it's essential. True growth isn't just about improving yourself, it's about using what you've gained to lift others. The highest level of personal growth happens when you shift from success to significance. Success is about what you achieve, but significance is about what you give. The more you focus on adding value to others, the more you will grow in return. Too often, people chase personal development for their own benefit. They want to grow so they can have a better job, make more money, or gain recognition. But the most fulfilled and impactful people in life are the ones who understand that growth is meant to be shared. When you help others reach their potential, you elevate your own. Think about the best leaders, mentors, and role models in your life. What made them great? It wasn't just their knowledge or success, it was their willingness to invest in others. They didn't just keep their wisdom to themselves, they shared it. They didn't just climb the ladder, they reached back and helped others climb too. The principle is simple: you grow by giving. When you teach someone what you've learned, you reinforce that lesson in yourself. When you mentor someone, you develop new leadership skills. When you encourage others, you strengthen your own confidence. The more you pour into others, the more you grow yourself. But adding value to others isn't just about big gestures, it's about being intentional in your daily interactions. It can be as simple as offering encouragement, sharing knowledge, or helping someone take the next step in their journey. Every conversation is an opportunity to make a difference. One of the biggest mistakes people make is thinking they need to reach a certain level before they can help others. They say, I'll invest in people once I've made it, but you don't have to be an expert to add value. You just have to be one step ahead of someone else and be willing to share what you've learned. Growth isn't about waiting until you have everything figured out. It's about using what you have right now to help others move forward. This mindset doesn't just transform individuals, it transforms teams, businesses, and communities. When you create a culture where people are constantly adding value to one another, everyone rises together. Instead of competing, people collaborate. Instead of tearing each other down, they build each other up. And when that happens, growth becomes unstoppable. At the end of the day, your success is not measured by how much you've gained, but by how much you've given. Who have you helped grow? Whose life is better because of your influence? Because the greatest leaders, the greatest achievers, and the greatest difference makers all understand one thing: growth is not just about you. It's about how you use your growth to impact others. The biggest mistake people make when it comes to growth is waiting. They wait for the right time, the right opportunity, the right circumstances. They tell themselves, I'll start when I have more experience, or I'll work on myself when life slows down. But growth doesn't happen by waiting. If you want to become the best version of yourself, you have to take action now. Too many people live with the mindset that change will happen someday. But someday is not a day of the week. Growth doesn't begin when everything is perfect. It begins when you decide to take the first step. There will never be a perfect time. There will always be challenges, distractions, and reasons to put things off. The people who grow the most in life are the ones who stop making excuses and start making progress. The truth is, you don't need more time, you need more urgency. Think about it. If you had only 1 year left to live, how differently would you approach your growth? Would you wait, or would you start today? Would you hesitate, or would you take every opportunity to become better? The problem isn't that people don't have time, it's that they don't treat their growth as a priority. Growth requires movement. It requires decisions. It requires stepping forward even when you don't feel ready. Some people hesitate because they're afraid of failure, but failure is not the enemy of growth, and action is. The only way to truly fail is to do nothing. When you take action, even if you make mistakes, you learn. You adjust, you improve. Happens in motion, not in waiting. Taking action doesn't mean making drastic changes overnight. It means doing something today that moves you closer to the person you want to become. Maybe it's reading a book that challenges your thinking. Maybe it's reaching out to a mentor. Maybe it's taking the first step toward a goal you've been putting off. Whatever it is, do it now. Because the sooner you start, the further you'll go. One of the most powerful lessons in life is this: momentum is created, not given. When you take the first step, no matter how small, you create movement. And once you have movement, it's easier to keep going. But if you wait, if you hesitate, if you tell yourself that growth can happen later, You'll look back years from now and wonder where the time went. The people who grow, the people who succeed, the people who make an impact, they all have one thing in common. They don't wait for change. They create it. So the question is simple. What are you going to do today to move forward? Because if you're serious about becoming a better version of yourself, the best time to start isn't tomorrow. It's right now. Growth is not a destination, it's a journey. It's built through intentional decisions, daily habits, personal responsibility, and the people you surround yourself with. It's amplified when you choose to add value to others, and it becomes unstoppable when you take action instead of waiting for the perfect moment. The truth is, everything you need to grow is already within your reach. The only question left is, will you take the step? Your future is not determined by chance, it's shaped by choice. The choice to grow, the choice to improve, the choice to become the best version of yourself. No one else can make that decision for you. Only you can. So, don't wait. Start today. Be intentional. Be disciplined. Be the person who takes ownership of their breath and uses it to make a difference in the world. Because when you commit to continuous self-improvement, there is no limit to what you can achieve. I believe in your potential, and I know that the best version of you is yet to come. Good luck on your journey, and thank you